Hi, I'm Jenna Bosonko and this is Qtv News coming to you live from our studios along Caraba Avenue. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main local news headlines. Qcell launched its 4G LTE Plus network in Sierra Leone on Thursday after just a little over 24 months of operations in the country. The People's Republic of China has shown itself to be a supportive friend to the Gambia in times of need, this time by a further donation to the Ministry of Health. Following the launch of a historic vaccination program on Wednesday, the Minister of Health told journalists that the country is ready for decentralized vaccination coverage. Another bid to revive Gambia's rejected draft constitution by Nigeria's ex-president Goodluck Jonathan has failed after stakeholders failed to reach consensus. Those were our main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you for joining us. Qcell Sierra Leone launched its 4G LTE Plus network on Thursday after a little over 24 months of operations in the country. In a pre-recorded address in English and Creole, the lingua franca of Sierra Leone, marking the ceremony, the chairman of the Q Group describes the milestone as the fulfillment of Qcell's promise to be the biggest, most accessible, affordable and reliable network for the people of Sierra Leone. Momodu Lamin Choi has the rest of that.
Launching a 4G LTE Plus is a leap forward in modern telecommunications technology. What it means is an upgrade in the speed of communication for Qcell's rapidly growing subscribers in Sierra Leone, particularly for those with smartphones compatible with the technology. This latest development has received an official launching at a ceremony attended by senior Sierra Leone government officials, including the chairman of the country's telecom regulatory body, NATCOM. Also joining the occasion through a pre-recorded address was the chairman of the Q Group.
As I said to Mr. Ja when I last met him, I said rural telephony must be a priority of our government. And even I'm sure His Excellency is very much interested in that, because we don't want to just give 4G to the urban communities. We want to go to the rural communities and bring our people to modernity and development.
That appeal is for the realization of one of the country's national goals for its people. But with wide 2G and 3G coverage in Sierra Leone during a short period of operation, Qcell has also revealed plans to meet a 4G coverage target for almost the entire country within a short period. Here is the chairman of the Q Group, this time stressing the company's commitment to Sierra Leone.
Today marks, as I said, a very important day in the life of Qcell Sierra Leone, because we are launching a 4G network. Just after 1 year of operation, we have managed to launch the 4G network in Sierra Leone. And I assure the Sierra Leoneans that within a very short time, we would have the entire Sierra Leone covered with 4G network as well.
Qcell customers in Sierra Leone are encouraged to subscribe to the 4G LTE Plus network and to expect existing charges for 3G to remain the same. Alongside this event, as one of the fastest growing GSM networks in the country, Qcell is launching a new number series.
I also take this opportunity to launch our new NDC 032, that is the new level series, number series, which is now available in the market. And it is indeed a testament today that many of you who have missed out on having your preferred number will have the opportunity to do so with ease.
In January 2019, Qcell launched its telecom services in Sierra Leone with the aspiration of becoming the biggest operator in the country's telecom sector by offering the most reliable and affordable voice and data network for everyone. Today, this milestone is described as being part of achieving that ambitious goal.
When we came to Sierra Leone, we promised the people of Sierra Leone that we will come with two things. One, we will bring the best network into Sierra Leone. And secondly, we would bring the tariffs as low as possible. And I think the whole population, the government of Sierra Leone, the Ministry of Information, NATCOM, and all stakeholders will agree with me that since we started operations, we have been fulfilling our commitment.
Qcell Sierra Leone has the tagline Salon Pride, representing the values of the company and an appeal from its chairman who has renewed the call for everyone in Sierra Leone to develop ownership of the company and its services, noting QCell's contributions towards national development through tax payments and employment creation.
We in a Gambian Sierra Leonean study in Sierra Leone for Bay College. We do am na Gambia, we think say we can do am na Sierra Leone.
Mahmoud Lamin Choi, Qtv News.
Thumbs up QCell Sierra Leone. Now, the People's Republic of China has shown itself to be a supportive friend to the Gambia in times of need. On Friday, China's ambassador presented medical equipment to the Ministry of Health as part of his country's continuing support to the Gambia in the fight against COVID-19. Babu Karsi has the rest of that.
This is yet another gesture from the People's Republic of China to the Gambia's health sector. The donated equipment includes 190 ventilators, thermometers, 50 oxygen concentrators, PPEs, face masks, among others. According to China's ambassador to the Gambia, Ma Jianxun, the equipment is to help the Gambia in the fight against COVID-19.
We sincerely hope this medical equipment could provide assistance for the COVID-19 patients and contribute to the final elimination of the COVID-19 in the Gambia. Since the COVID-19 broke out worldwide, we have fought shoulder to shoulder against the pandemic for more than 1 year. But more importantly, we have seen the bond of our friendship growing up ever strong through our anti-pandemic cooperation.
Ambassador Zhang Qing also highlighted the continuing cordial relationship the two countries, stating some of the development areas and sectors in which China is ready to collaborate with the Gambia.
As we know, for developing countries, poverty reduction is crucial to promote the well-being of the people. It is an important objective of the Gambia's National Development Plan, and such is also the same with that of China.
Ahmadu Lamin Samate, the Minister of Health, thanked the ambassador and the People's Republic of China for their stance to fight the pandemic, adding that Gambia will emulate China to overcome the disease.
Since the onset of COVID-19, since the outbreak in Wuhan, in China, Ambassador Ma had been giving me weekly updates of the situation in China. He had provided numerous flash drives of the situation, its description, its evolution, and the current interventions that China was taking to be able to contain the disease. This had improved our preparedness. It has increased our knowledge base with regards to COVID-19. It has enhanced our preparedness to deal with COVID-19. And I must tell you, his input has been very, very useful.
Dr. Samate further mentioned that China has done a lot for the Gambia to fight the pandemic, which also including providing emergency vans, among many others.
These items again demonstrate that you care about the people of this country. You want to contribute to the protection of the lives and livelihoods in this country. Poverty alleviation cannot be possible if the people are not healthy, because people need to be healthy to work for poverty to disappear. So the starting point of any poverty alleviation strategy is actually to deal with the healthcare situation of the people.
The Gambia, through the Ministry of Health and other international partners, continues to fight the coronavirus pandemic. The latest developments include the launching of the vaccination campaign by President Barrow. Babu Karsi, Qtv News.
Following the launch of a historic vaccination program on Wednesday, the Minister of Health told journalists that the country is ready for decentralized vaccination coverage in every part of the country for those listed in the priority groups. QTV's Mahmoud Lamin Choi reports.
Gambia's president, some ministers, religious leaders, diplomats and health workers received their first jab of the AstraZeneca vaccine at a ceremony in State House, marking the beginning of the largest vaccination campaign in the country's history. Among the first to be vaccinated are these two health workers.
I will encourage my colleagues to take this vaccine I have already taken my first dose, and I have no side effect. I have no issue as of now. And I'm urging everyone, every health worker, whether you are a doctor, a nurse, a laboratory, or even any other frontliner, or you have existing medical conditions, please take this vaccine.
What I want to tell the general public, particularly my healthcare workers, this vaccine is safe. It is being certified by WHO, and the Minister of Health of the Gambia also encouraged us to take this vaccine.
After this event, the Minister of Health holds a joint press conference to give more details about the vaccination campaign. In the ministry's priority group are health workers, those above 65 years, people with underlying health conditions, security forces, teachers, hotel workers, all of whom can be vaccinated in any part of the country, according to the health minister.
So they've been doing this kind of work for many decades. So those structures are there, and the vaccine, distribution process is started. Yeah. So they will get the vaccines, right? So it's going to be decentralized, because we can't also have people, elderly here and there. Health workers are also there, and they also need to be vaccinated. Yeah?
After their first inoculation, recipients of the vaccine will now wait for 8 to 12 weeks as the AstraZeneca vaccine is administered in 2 doses. Regarding the side effects of the vaccine, studies have shown that 1 in 10 people may feel after effects such as headache, tiredness, and tenderness. However, the side effects are usually mild and disappear within days, experts say, adding that it must not stop people from taking the vaccine because the benefits are huge.
So which means out of 100 people that are vaccinated, about
63.1
will be protected.
Yes.
And they will not they will not get infected. They can be infected, but they will not be sick. Particularly severe disease will be avoided, which is the killer. That's what we are doing. If we do that, we have achieved significant impact on the
The Oxford vaccine is 63.9% effective, and according to a recent study by the Oxford University, a single dose of the vaccine offered 76% protection for 3 months, and this went up to 82% after the second dose. According to manufacturers, protection starts 15 days after the second shot or 22 days after the first shot. More doses of the vaccine from the COVAX facility are expected by the end of May.
We have had commitment from the World Bank to procure the remaining 40% for us. So that's not a problem now. And we have also engaged with the African Union, UNECA platform in Addis Ababa. They have come together, the African Union, through the coordination of African Union, to do full procurement of these vaccines equally, similar to the COVAX facility. But this one we pay for it.
Vaccination is a cost-effective way of fighting a virus, but its success depends on massive participation for herd immunity in every country. Herd immunity is the indirect protection from an infectious disease that happens when a population is immune either through vaccination or has developed immunity through a previous infection. This phase of the vaccination campaign marks a step forward to getting us out of the pandemic. However, the low level of public compliance with and police enforcement of the public health regulations in the country are still worrying factors in trying to fight the disease. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, Qtv News.
From that story by Mamadou Lamin Choi, we will take a short commercial break. Still to come, local news stories. Do stay tuned. Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News and I am Jenna Basonko. Now, attempts to revive the draft constitution appear to resurface every week. Former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan's 4th attempt to revive the rejected draft constitution has failed again, according to reports in local newspapers. More in this report.
The dialogue is for stakeholders and political parties to broker a consensus on contentious issues that divided our politicians, including the retroactive clause of presidential term limits, which would apply to President Barrow. In addition to meeting various stakeholders on his most recent trip this week, President Goodluck also paid a courtesy call on President Barrow at State House on Tuesday. During Goodluck Jonathan's second visit in January, the Director of International Idea for Africa and West Africa, Adebayo Olukosi, revealed that negotiations have made some progress despite some key contentious issues remaining unresolved. He assured citizens that they are here for a genuine reason and that Goodluck Jonathan is credible.
We asked that an elder statesperson with experience but sufficient neutrality from the context should help to facilitate some of the sessions of our conversation with the stakeholders. And the person who was agreed upon, as you already know, was President Goodluck Jonathan. Our whole purpose has been to be supportive and facilitative, not to come and write a constitution for the Gambia.
The Center for Research and Policy Development in February, in a similar engagement, held a stakeholders forum to look into the possible ways of reviving the rejected draft. At the event, the GMC party leader, Mai Ahmed Fati, said only the CRC has the legal mandate to touch the draft constitution.
It is an act of parliament that is still there. It has not been repealed. And it deals with constitutional review. The Minister of Justice or the Ministry of Justice has no authority on the law on their own to do anything with the drafts. It has to go back to the CRC. That is the only legitimate authority recognized by Gambian law.
The former Secretary General of the Gambia Press Union, Sekou Jammeh, suggests dialogue with President Barrow is crucial to reach a consensus on the two-term limits.
The fear, as expressed by some, is that we are not only interested in 5, we're interested in 10. And there are fears that not even 10, but 15. And this is a concern. Can we have some voice of reason in Gambian society to talk to the president?
Could conflict of interest be a factor for the rejection of the draft? This is what Suwaibu Toure, the National Assembly member for Woolly East, appears to suggest.
People who are now in control of these resources are struggling not to lose those resources to any other person. And in that case, how then can we explain the emergence and survival of democracy?
The National Assembly member for Latrikunda Sabiji Sekou Marong disagrees with Suwaibu Toure.
I think it is also important for people like him to be not say that those who rejected the draft, they rejected for the favor of the president. That is very wrong. I am part of those who rejected the draft. I didn't do it in the favor of the president or whatsoever.
The CRC spent $116 million during the process of drafting the Constitution and the consultations at home and abroad that followed. Some suggest that the money could have been better spent elsewhere, including to revamp our poor health system. Others raise questions are that since former President Jammeh is accused of amending parts of the 1997 Constitution over 50 times, why do the majority of our parliamentarians prefer to use it to guide our country? There have also been questions about why the need for a completely new constitution rather than amend parts of the current one. Babukar Sise, Qtv News.
Across the world, we are used to stories of fake news being employed to influence elections. In line with this, representatives of the media and civil society organizations on Thursday commenced a 2-day training course on combating fake news and disinformation in the Gambia, ahead of what could be a tight presidential elections in December. Alu Sise has the rest of that.
The training is jointly organized by the Center for Research and Policy Development, CRPD, and the Center for Democracy and Development to build the capacity of these participants drawn from the media and CSOs to counter misinformation and disinformation in the Gambia. Disinformation is a false or misleading narrative spread deliberately and specifically to deceive, while misinformation is a false or misleading narrative spread unknowingly without any intent. Disinformation comes from the traditional media, newspapers, radio or TV, but also digital platforms such as social media, including Facebook, WhatsApp, and Twitter. The organizers of this training want to prevent the circulation of fake news and disinformation, as with the general elections approaching, this has become an imperative. Disinformation can occur mostly due to divided societies' inability to access objective information, low media literacy, and high level of inequality. The last 2 American presidential elections have shown that in a country with a high literacy rate, many of these other factors exist. Currently, the Gambia's political landscape presents a space for possible exploitation by players who might leverage passive marginalization, anger, confusion, and economic challenges. Potentially, political actors could willingly take advantage of these gaps either to misinform, disinform, promote apathy, or twist people's voting choices in the forthcoming elections. Seth Matijau, Executive Director of the Center for Research and Policy Development, says CRPD was formed in 2018 with the primary goal of creating and supporting the transformation of the Gambia into a democratic society.
As citizens, ensure that within the democratic space, the information that we are sharing, the issues that we are discussing are based on facts, are based on evidence, so as to ensure that the people will not be misled.
Joining via Zoom, Alhassan Ibrahim, disinformation analyst and program officer at the Center for Democracy and Development, observes that politicians are known for labeling any news not in their favor as fake news to manipulate people. He informed the trainees that there are different tools to use to propagate the political agenda, such as what are known as bots and humans. Demba Kande, the communication director at the Center for Research and Policy Development, recognizes that reliable and factual information are critical in any democracy.
And there cannot be a meaningful engagement if there is no meaningful, reliable, trustworthy information sharing.
The advent of digital technologies is increasingly shaping and defining politics. Therefore, at the end of the training, the participants will be expected to highlight, examine, and discuss methods of recognizing and countering the increase of disinformation campaigns to control political narratives, to include the digital campaigning methods used among others. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
The former Minister of Foreign Affairs in 2005, when the investigation about the missing migrants was ongoing, on Thursday appeared before the TRRC on video link to narrate his knowledge of and role in the incident. Lamin Kababajo told the Truth Commission that the letters he wrote to Ghana were misleading and totally false. Babu Kasi has the rest of that.
Lamin Kababajo told the Truth Commission that he took up the job as a Foreign Affairs Minister in October of 2005, when the investigation of the missing West African migrants was already underway. Mr. Bajo said all that he knew about the investigation when he took office was from the Minister of Interior. The witness confirmed coming into contact with the Ghana Foreign Minister, who expressed his country's desire for the investigation to be speeded up. He also confirms receiving 1 or 2 letters from the government of Ghana, to which he replied,
"Obviously you have listened to. You agree completely that the story you gave was completely false.
Yes.
How do you feel knowing that the letter you sent to your counterpart, who is today the president of Ghana, is completely false? It's a cock and bull story.
Men yalongo scientist atelem president of Ghana banko kan o mukuma kanel me yalongo amanke to nyati kuma kulle me yalongo ro miral famire fan mira kumol ron wolle be fuduri ngole taro nyinkono. I feel very bad, very embarrassed.
Kababajo told the Truth Commission that he was misled by the people who updated him about the investigation about the missing migrants when he took office as Minister of Foreign Affairs at the time.
Information are not my own. I'm not the originator of the information.
Akoto nyala la kumakangol lambar kibaro le ditate fanana me ya lonko wala ya kendi ate kumota wo kibaro leto wala na yo kumodi.
Who gave you that information?
The Ministry of the Interior.
The witness said all the information he wrote to his counterparts in Ghana was fed to him by the Ministry of Interior. When that statement was tested by the lead counsel by reading to him the letters he wrote to the Ghana Foreign Minister and what the report of the findings from the government of the Gambia stated, the witness still maintains that he was misled and the truth hidden from him. He however stressed that if he has the opportunity to meet the Ghana Foreign Minister, who is now the President of Ghana, this is what he would say to him.
Yes, to him and the Ghanaians.
Mbabolo Saila Baba Bake.
And would you tell him
I have
that...
nothing more than an apology.
Would you tell him that the Ghanaians were killed in the Gambia?
Indeed, of course, I would.
Kababajo accepts the lead counsel's proposition that he didn't act with due diligence and regrets signing and sending a document that he had not much knowledge about. He, however, denies that he was used by the government to sign and send those letters, but if that was so, he was not aware of it. Kababajo's testimony brings an end to the TRRC's hearing into the matter of the missing West African migrants, and the Commission's next public hearings will be on the 22nd of March. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
Well, that is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Do join us tomorrow, same time for more news. Thanks for watching and do take care of yourselves.